$240.
The most successful money-raising celebration for a good cause in northeastern Pennsylvania. You have made the difference.
This is WYOU News at 5.
This will probably end up being the second largest event on record in Luzerne County, comparable to the Agnes event in '72.
The Luzerne County Commissioners are asking everyone who lives in the areas affected by the Agnes flood to leave. The mandatory evacuation, our lead story on WYOU News at 5. Look at that river, folks. Well, good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Diane Lee. It was shortly before 1 today that we got word that hundreds of people in Luzerne County will be forced to evacuate by 8 tonight. If you didn't live here during the 1972 Agnes flood, you may be wondering if you're in that evacuation zone, and in just a moment we will have a rumor control hotline number, so grab a pen. Of course, the evacuation stemmed from the rising Susquehanna River, as you just saw, but folks, officials say it's just a precaution. At this point, projected river crest levels have dropped by at least a foot. Now, the Susquehanna is not likely to go above the levee, but there is a 9 p.m. curfew in place for the evacuation areas, and word is it will be strictly enforced. Now, here's that rumor control hotline, the number on your screen, 1-800-821-3716. Again, 1-800-821-3716. Let's begin our team coverage on the flooding by heading to Eric Dable, who is live along the Susquehanna River in Kingston. Eric?
Diane, as you said, those evacuation orders here in Luzerne County came just before 1 o'clock, and you saw it live right here on WYOU. Now, the mandatory evacuation orders are in effect for the areas that have been hit hardest in 1972 by the floods from Hurricane Agnes. Now, that affects thousands of homes in the West Pittston area, the Exeter, Wyoming, Sawyersville, 40 Fort, Kingston, Edwardsville, Plymouth, Wilkes-Barre areas, and even beyond that. Now, I'm going to take a step out of this shot. I want you to take a look right now, a live look here at the Susquehanna River. Right now, it is at 33.9 feet here on the Kingston side of the river. You're basically looking at a part that normally would be clear. It's actually a pathway to right under the bridge, but as you can see right now, covered with water. Now, it is expected to crest just after midnight between 35 and 37 feet. That is as of 3 o'clock this afternoon. Now, right now, there is some good news, as Diane mentioned at the top. The speed at which the river is rising is somewhat slowing down. Now, if we can take a look at some video that we shot just within the past hour, some of the evacuation orders, since those evacuation orders were issued, a lot of people have been flocking to this part of the river really to check it out, but officials are saying, don't come here, stay away. Now, everyone must be out by 8 o'clock tonight. Now, there is a 9 p.m. curfew, and it's important to note, as Diane said, these evacuations are precautionary, but you should already be planning ahead.
If there are any concerns for neighbors who maybe don't have family, please make sure you check on those neighbors, make sure that they have a place to go. And again, contact your fellow neighbors and family members with where you are going to be. Keep those lines of communication open with one another. It's very...
Now, there are several shelters set up in this part of Luzerne County. We will have those for you in just a moment. Now, hopefully, the commissioners here in Luzerne County hope to lift this order by noontime on Friday. Of course, we will have much more coming up tonight at 6 and throughout the rest of this newscast. But for now, reporting live in Kingston, Luzerne County, I'm Eric Dable for WYOU News. Diane, now back to you.
Thank you, Eric. Now, as we mentioned, the areas that are under a mandatory evacuation are the parts of Luzerne County that were flooded by Hurricane Agnes. More specifically, that includes parts of West Pittston, Exeter, Sawyersville, Edwardsville, Plymouth, Wilkes-Barre, and Hanover Township, and all of 40 Fort and Kingston. Emergency shelters are in place at GAR High School, Hanover Area High School, Dallas Senior High School, Westside Votech, Shikshini Fire Hall, Wyoming Area High School, and the Plain Solomon High School. And if you live in the evacuation areas and you need a ride, just call the number on your screen. That is 208-4237. Again, 208-4237. 888-4237 for a ride to one of those evacuation zones. Well, now let's head over to Lori Monteforti, who has some information. We've been dealing, obviously, and talking directly to officials at the EMA, Lori, and certainly they've been the ones to get out a lot of the word of what we need to tell everybody with regards to this and the safety issues. What are you hearing from the EMA?
Diane, we actually just got word from the EMA that one of those shelters is now full. It's at capacity. That's the West Side Votex shelter. So if you're going to be heading toward a shelter, that one's full. You'll have to find a different one. Also, the EMA, this is a big group at the EMA Center on Water Street. You have state, local, national agencies, the Red Cross, the National Guard. They're all coordinating their efforts here in Wilkes-Barre, and so far things are going well. Senator Rick Santorum actually just stopped by the center to say he's glad how it's going. He's happy that things are running smoothly, and he thinks that these levees are going to work. The government has spent millions upon millions of dollars on them. He's actually looking forward to seeing them in action. He said he's impressed how everyone's going through this smoothly, how everyone's listening, how everyone's, well, not everyone, but a lot of people are staying away because the police have asked people not to go and look at this and take pictures because that could put you in danger. And we'll keep updates from EMA all night and across the region for you. Reporting live for WYOU, I'm Lori Monteforti.
You know, Lori, that is such an important point, too, because earlier today I even was near there, and there were a lot of people with cameras and wanting to kind of look at this, and you can understand the desire to see something like this, which we don't often see, and yet there is such a safety risk. So I'm glad that you did mention that. We should really ask people to please, you know, stay away, obey the evacuation mandate, and head out of the area just at least till Friday morning when we will be able to come back to the Wilkes-Barre area and whatnot. Thank you, Lori.
You're welcome.
All right, well, let's head over now to Scott Stuccio, who is standing by, of course, with those river levels and more. Scott?
All right, Diane and Lori, thank you very much. Let's take a look. First, we're going to begin with some of the levels and the forecasts, of course, which is very important because all these communities along the Susquehanna are definitely affected when this water, you know, within a foot means the difference between one town having to get out and one town not. The current forecast for Sayre, record flooding likely up there along the New York border, 20.8 feet now, 24.5 to 25.5 crest by tomorrow morning. For Towanda, 21 to 22 foot crest by the early morning. Current level is at 19.3. Mashopin, that level has dropped a little bit, a couple of tenths of a foot. It is now 32.5, but it is forecast to come back up before it recedes again. 34 to 35 foot crest by tomorrow morning. There in Wilkes-Barre, 33.8 is the current level. As Eric told you earlier in the live report, the forecast has been changed a couple of times for this majorly populated area. The current crest forecast is 35 to 37 feet, and the time of expected for that is tonight. And here is a look at what happens when the river gets over the 32-foot level, because a lot of things are affected. Route 11 gets closed in Susquehanna. Canal Street is closed. River Road in Plains, Port Blanchard, and West Pittston begin inundation there. The Hollenbach Park and Brookside area of Wilkes-Barre, Plymouth Flats, Route 11 West Nanticoke, and the Pittston Lowlands. When we get this river up just another 1 to 2 feet, we're talking other communities. We're going to discuss those later. The bottom line with the forecast tonight, Diane, is a couple of showers and thunderstorms, but not as nearly as heavy as we saw the past couple of days.
And Scott, before you go, one of the good things, the positive things that you had mentioned is that the Susquehanna River in the Wilkes-Barre area has gone down a bit in terms of the projections for tonight, perhaps about a foot. But in other areas, the Susquehanna River still presents quite a problem, particularly in Sayre. Is that the area that you think the Susquehanna will do the most amount of flooding damage, possibly?
Well, it all depends on population. The way I look at it, Diane, it already is under, you know, getting close to their record highest level ever. And not only on the Susquehanna, we also have our friends along the Delaware River. We're going to talk about that as well. A lot of points at least 5 to 10 feet above flood stage. The words that the Weather Service is using is moderate to major, and some places record.
Thank you, Scott. Right. Well, as Scott mentioned, other counties in our area have been hard hit by flooding and will continue to be. When WYOU News at 5 returns, we'll head to the other areas to survey the damage there.
You're watching WYOU News with Diane Lee, Scott Stuccio, and Sid Michaels.
Welcome to the River Edge Resort in the Thousand Islands, across from Bolt Castle in beautiful historic Alexandria Bay, New York. There's plenty to do, and every room with a view.
Celebrate your independence at this magnificent 4-Diamond Award Hotel. 3 nights accommodations, dinner and windows on the bay, live entertainment, and the best spot on the river to enjoy the fabulous gala fireworks display over Bolt Castle. This year on both July 3rd and July 4th. The River Edge Resort, where you want to be.
You're guaranteed to save a bundle during the Independence Sale at Nathan's Furniture and Mattress Superstores. It's Nathan's biggest holiday sale ever with savings of 30, 40, 50, even 60% store-wide. Plus, through Monday, everything is payment and interest-free till 2008. That's no down payment, no monthly payments, and no interest till 2008. On top of those huge savings, up to 60%. Don't miss the legendary Independence Sale at Nathan's Furniture and Mattress Superstores.
For more information about a story seen on WYOU News, log on to our website at WYOU.com.
What are you doing?
Getting ready for my test.
A test? What subject?
Cholesterol.
Are you nervous?
Well, last time I didn't do so great.
You?
Yeah, but I'm getting extra help.
Cheerios is the only leading cold cereal proven to lower cholesterol.
Grandpa, I hope you score 100 on your test.
Well, I'm shooting for something like 190.
You picked the All-Stars in baseball. Now you can pick them for Big Brother. Vote for me. Will you choose Mike Boogie? And I'm back and better than ever. The Mastermind?
I'm gonna lie, I'm gonna manipulate.
The Six-Fingered Planner?
Vote for me.
Or the Schemer?
I can use other tricks to get what I want.
Vote for your favorite at CBS.com. Then tune in Thursday, July 6th and see who will be part of the new Big Brother.
No bench warmers, only all-stars.
Big Brother All-Stars. Season premiere Thursday, July 6th. Closed captioning of the news is brought to you by your local Ford dealers.
Welcome back. In addition to Wilkes-Barre and the Wyoming Valley, several other parts of our area have been hit hard by floodwaters. Many people who live in Wyoming County are literally trapped on their roads. WYOU News reporter Eric Dable was in Tunkhannock earlier today as a creek swallowed up houses.
The fury of floods overtake a number of homes along the banks of Tunkhannock Creek on Wednesday. The water so strong it literally ripped buildings off their foundations.
Like just like I said, I feel sorry for them people, especially if they don't have insurance.
Down Route 6, the only way to use Lazy Brook Park was by boat. The roads were also rough going, whether it's because of gaping holes which have popped up all over the place, downed power lines, or just huge swells of water.
I have no power, I have no water. It's a mess.
Speaking of messes, we couldn't even get to see the damage at St. Peter's Church in Tunkhannock Township, but at the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses, people there are dealing with water, mud, and ruined drywall.
Yeah, it's getting very old. We're kind of tired of it, so we have to see what we're going to do. If we're going to remodel or maybe sell and move to a different location, but we're waiting to hear what we should do.
In Wyoming County, Eric Dable, WYOU News.
Unbelievable footage. Well, as you see, overflowing creeks, streams, and rivers have caused many of the recent floods in our area, but WYOU News reporter Lori Monteforti tells us about one flood caused by a busted mine shaft.
It could be an average summer scene, kids walking through a creek. But if you look again, you'll see this creek is actually a road, one of the many flooded roads in Carbondale. Unlike much of the flooding from around our area this week, this doesn't come from stream overflow. It pours from a broken mine shaft. Carbondale Mayor Justin Taylor explains.
Water from the mountains and somewhat from the Casey Highway drains, and it drains into old abandoned mine shafts.
When those mine shafts overflow, millions of gallons of water rush out. That's what happened at about 3:30 Wednesday morning in Carbondale. The water hasn't stopped running. Volunteers fill sandbags, and the people who live here try their best to divert the water away from their streets.
I never expected anything like this.
Jim McMinn ran 2 pumps to get the water out of his basement. That wasn't enough, so he sent his wife to buy a third.
Well, I have about a 15-foot wide, 8-foot deep trench going down the side, and my basement's saturated.
Since the heavy water forced the city to close most of the roads on the east side of Carbondale, the few roads that did remain open had to deal with very heavy traffic.
Well, it creates for hassles for our emergency personnel who are, trying to respond to as many calls as possible.
The emergency crews are working overtime to keep people here safe and try to direct the water into the Lackawanna River. In Carbondale, Lori Monteforti, WYOU News.
Carbondale has a list of 200 basements to pump, but right now the city only has 10 pumps. Officials say they're working as fast as they can. As news of the mandatory evacuation spreads, the roads are becoming more busy. And WYOU's Dave Kaharchik is live along the Cross Valley Expressway at this hour. Dave, how is traffic doing now?
Well, Diane, it's a little bit better than it was earlier when the news of the evacuations first broke. This is the Cross Valley Expressway northbound, headed towards the back mountain of Luzerne County. And as you can tell, traffic is moving now, but we were there this morning as the siren sounded and people were from the west side were told to get out.
Luzerne County has issued a mandatory evacuation to Kingston. All residents are to be evacuated by 8 o'clock this evening. You're not to return to your home.
As the siren to evacuate sounded, we found Dorothy Jones of Kingston packing up and preparing to head to higher ground.
I really didn't want to go, but, I have 3 daughters that live in the back mountain. They insisted I come out there.
As news of the mandatory evacuation spread, area roads became jammed. The traffic backup here along the Cross Valley Expressway extended from the Susquehanna River all the way back to the Wyoming Valley Mall.
Really bad, traffic terrible. Took me an hour just to get from the Wilkes-Barre exit.
I just came down from Duryea, and the traffic on the Cross Valley is bumper to bumper all the way from Wilkes-Barre over.
Despite the warning of officials for sightseers to stay away, Mark Mulchin of Squaresville made a pit stop to look at the rising river waters near the levee in Kingston.
I'm just coming back from Wilkes-Barre. I took a walk over to see the situation, and it doesn't look too bad. I think it'll be all right.
Dorothy Jones agrees. She's been through this before, even in Agnes of 72.
I was here in 04, in 96 and 204. Didn't bother me. I stayed.
You'll make it through again?
Yes, I think so. I hope so.
And you are looking live at the Susquehanna River toward the direction of 44th. As the river continues to rise, keep in mind there's only a couple of ways to get across the valley now if you're still trying to evacuate by 8 o'clock. Your best route, at least in the Middle Valley, is the Cross Valley Expressway as traffic continues to flow. Reporting live along the Cross Valley Expressway for WYOU News, I'm Dave Kaharchik.
Thank you, Dave. Secondary on many people's minds right now are all the cancellations that the flooding has caused. The city of Wilkes-Barre's upcoming bicentennial celebration is officially postponed. That includes Thursday's medal presentation, Friday's cocktail party, Saturday's parade, coal car race, and concert series at Kirby Park, Sunday's gala ball, Monday's Beach Boys concert at Kirby Park, and Tuesday's July 4th celebration at the park as well. Wilkes-Barre plans to reschedule everything, including the Beach Boys concert. We will keep you posted. Well, another concern with the evacuations is, of course, pets. A little later on WYOU News at 5, the busy day at the Luzerne County SPCA office. But first, here are today's winning midday lottery numbers. The daily number 028 and the big 4, 8674. We'll be right back with Scott Storm Center forecast.
Vendors, reserve your booth now for the second annual Home for the Holiday Showcase coming this November to the Icebox in Scranton. Call Amanda to reserve your booth today.
Hi, I'm Valerie from United Financial Management Group. Are you a first-time home buyer shopping for the best mortgage? Do you want a really low fixed rate? Looking for a low-cost option? We have the program for you. For a limited time, we're offering incredibly low fixed rate mortgages to qualified borrowers. Whether you choose us or another lender, our experts will be happy to provide the advice you need. There's no telling how much you'll save. Call now. United Financial Management Group, your mortgage experts.
More on Star Jones Reynolds' sudden exit from The View. Then the celebrity who's getting a facelifting procedure on The Insider.
This is a definite red carpet must-have.
Plus, Donna Summer's depression and torment.
Too much, too fast.
Next Insider.
Tonight at 7 on WYOU. You're watching WYOU News, a member of the Northeast Pennsylvania News Alliance. Stadium and enjoy action-packed baseball as the Barons take on the Bulls. There's always a great reason to come to a Barons game, with giveaways, great promotions, and great deals. So don't miss a minute of the action. Enjoy the game.
Great taste, low cholesterol here. Great taste.
Your 2%? Next.
Great taste! Lower cholesterol! Great taste! Lower cholesterol!
Honey Nut Cheerios. When something tastes great and can help lower cholesterol, it's quite a draw.
Honey Nut Cheerios. Be happy, be healthy.
More on Star Jones Reynolds' sudden exit from The View. Then the celebrity who's getting a facelifting procedure on the Insider. Plus, Donna Summer's depression and torment. Next Insider.
Tonight at 7 on WYOU. From WYOU News, here's AMS and NWA certified chief meteorologist Scott Stuccio with your Storm Center forecast.
All right, well, just about an hour ago, this is what the Susquehanna River near Wilkes-Barre looks like, lapping up against some of the abutments there of the bridge near the Luzerne County Courthouse. A lot of debris being washed downstream. The power of water, absolutely incredible. So it goes without saying, folks, to please heed the warnings of the county EMA. Stay away from the river. Avoid the temptation to go over and look at this, because we want to get people out of the areas that have to be out of here by 8 o'clock tonight. Let's take a look and see that this is probably going to be a history maker in a way that we really don't want to see happen. Probably going to come in at number 2 on the all-time the historical crest of Wilkes-Barre, second only to Agnes back in '72. And as you heard, we were talking about this forecast crest dropping through the course of the day. This is still quite high at 35 to 37 foot forecast, with a current level just shy of 34 feet. You can see Sayre, Towanda, and Mashopin's current levels well above the flood stages. Record flooding expected up there in Sayre. When the river reaches the 32-foot level, these are some of the areas that are closed or affected by high water. Many areas between Plains, West Pittston, Shikshini, the Hollenbach Park section of Wilkes-Barre, Plymouth, West Nanticoke all begin to become affected by high water. Along the main stem at Bloomsburg, Danville, and Sunbury, flooding occurring. Some moderate to major flooding occurring, as a matter of fact, down there. The crest not expected to occur until the early overnight or tomorrow morning. And out toward the Delaware, we have 2 more spots at Callicoon and Barryville, forecast to come in with all-time levels there. Port Jervis, Montague, above flood stage. The forecast crest there also not until overnight. Thunderstorms developing in western Pennsylvania. The latest on Neighborhood Next Ride. You could see some west of Coudersport, a couple popping up in parts of the viewing area here. These, though, are not connected to that tropical plume that brought all that rain in our direction. These will, as a matter of fact, after 11 o'clock start to die out. We've got one more day with this storm system affecting us with a shower or thunderstorm, and that comes tomorrow. And after that, watch what happens. No green showing up on the map. Friday and Saturday will be mainly dry days, and we could sure use it to get the water to recede. So for tomorrow, the high will be around 82 with a shower or thunderstorm possible. Tonight, we could see a shower or thunderstorm at any time. For tomorrow night, down to 60 with some clearing. Friday and Saturday, partly sunny, mainly dry, highs at or above 80. Next chance for rain will be on Sunday, and then we have another dry day on Monday, which is, of course, maybe a day that many people will be taking off for the holiday. So nice to see a couple more dry days than wet after just a disastrous 4 days, a weekend, and even late last week.
And as your forecast shows, a couple of drops tomorrow, but you don't feel there'll be significant rainfall?
Some places localized ½ inch to an inch. We have to mention it. These thunderstorms do still have a lot of energy with them, but I think it will not be worse than that.
Thank you, Scott. Well, we will be right back, but first, here are today's closing numbers from Wall Street.
What are you doing?
Getting ready for my test.
A test? What subject?
Cholesterol.
Are you nervous?
Well, last time I didn't do so great.
You?
Yeah, but I'm getting extra help.
Cheerios is the only leading cold cereal proven to lower cholesterol.
Grandpa, I hope you score 100 on your test.
Well, I'm shooting for something like 190.
There is a face to what we're talking about, and the face is that of a child, and the children need your help.
Any kid could be saved with the dollars that you're donating right now.
That's the way to do it. Making miracles happen every day.
Thank you so very much for doing your part here today.
And our new total is
$2,420,240.
The most successful money-raising celebration for a good cause in northeastern Pennsylvania. You have made the difference.
You're watching WYOU News at 5.
Discovered. Bigfoot. The biggest foot in print. Bigfoot is the largest footprint in classifieds, covering 250,000 people throughout 8 counties in NEPA. If you're buying or selling practically anything, you need Bigfoot classifieds from the Times-Tribune and Citizens Voice.
The truth never changes. It changes things around it.
If you obey God, good is going to happen.
All the information you need for success is on the inside of you right now. The anointing to live.
Real answers for your world. Watch The Believer's Voice of Victory.
Next Extra, Nick Lachey's all-new interview, the truth about his love life and why he doesn't want to be single for long. Then we're on the road with Mariah. Does she have a new man and what made her break a sweat?
It was just very intimidating.
Next Extra.
For pet owners who have to evacuate, in some cases they are faced with the dilemma of course, what to do with those pets. And our Sid Michaels was at the Luzerne County SPCA and found a lot of concerned residents there.
Something you don't really think of, and I didn't realize either. When evacuating, most of our possessions can be moved to a second floor or some higher ground. But what about our pet dog or cat? The Red Cross Evacuation Center won't take pets. Some hotels or motels don't allow pets, and it's a big issue for people being forced from their homes. The Luzerne County SPCA office was a beehive of activity this afternoon as they were bombarded with people needing somewhere to house their animals during the mandatory evacuation. Available space at the shelter was filling up fast, and even though they weren't turning anyone away, manager Cindy Stark said people should first check with friends or relatives to house their pets, and if the SPCA was your last resort, there were some things you needed to remember.
Hopefully you can bring a cage so that the cat or dog can be in that cage. Hopefully they can bring along their vaccine history records. People need to be aware that they need to have identification of some sort on their animals.
It's very upsetting for a human being to have to leave home, but in all the excitement, sometimes we fail to realize that it's also tough for an animal to be put into an unfamiliar environment.
It's sad to watch them, and how do you explain to the dog and the cat, you're here for safety, it's only for a little while, you go home and everything will be okay, but you can't explain that to an animal.
I couldn't even get them out of the car. The 3 of them reacted the exact same way. They were clinging to the seats like, I'm not going in there. They know. I mean, they just knew. They're house cats, so they know that if they're in the car, they're either going to the doctor or, something that they don't want to do.
And last but not least, if you're having trouble housing your pet during this time of crisis, don't ever leave it alone. And the SPCA says that while they will use every available spot to house animals, including putting up a tent, they ask residents to use that facility only as a last resort. And please first try to find a friend or family member to take care of that animal until this crisis has passed.
So hard to part with your pets as well.
Oh, they're family members.
Yeah, exactly, sure. And cute too. Thanks a lot, Sid. Well, we will be right back with a final check of the forecast, so stay tuned.
Hi, this is John Bucci, Director of Basketball Operations at Hoop City, inviting anyone who loves basketball to the annual Hoop City 3-on-3 basketball tournament at Lackawanna County Stadium on July 22nd and 23rd. For your $125 registration fee, your 5-player team gets T-shirts, a minimum of 3 games, and of course great competition. Slots are filling fast. Register today for the Hoop City 3-on-3 basketball tournament by calling 558-HOOP or visit hoopcityusa.com.
I'm Karen Book, and all of us at Wise Markets are proud to be part of the Million Pound Meltdown. To help you lose weight the sensible and healthy way, here are some Healthy Bites Club specials.
Wise Premium Grade A Skinless and Boneless Chicken Breasts, $1.89 per pound. Blueberries and strawberries, buy one, get one free. From the Oven Breads, $1.29.
Join the club by signing up for your Wise Preferred Shoppers Club card, so you can start melting away the pounds with Wise and the Healthy Bites Club.
The Million Pound Meltdown is brought to you by WBRE, WYOU, and Blue Cross of Northeastern Pennsylvania.
Got a hot news tip? Give WYOU News a call at 1-800-422-WYOU.
Great taste, low cholesterol here. Great taste.
Your 2%? Next.
Great taste, lower cholesterol. Great taste, lower cholesterol.
Honey Nut Cheerios. When something tastes great and can help lower cholesterol, it's quite a draw.
Honey Nut Cheerios. Be happy, be healthy.
If you've been injured in a car accident or any kind of serious accident, the law limits the time you have to file your claim. Your time may be running out. You need a lawyer who will get you the money you deserve. Call the Injury Helpline now and speak to a lawyer near you for free. One who gets paid only when you collect money. Call 1-800-545-3001. That's 1-800-545-3001. The insurance companies have lawyers working hard on their side, and so should you.
Okay, so for those of you who are packing now and wondering what to bring, Scott has the forecast.
Yeah, that's right. For tonight, we have temperatures going to be in the 60s. Now, we didn't talk about, much about additional rainfall, but we do have that chance for a shower or thunderstorm. I'd say after about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and that's not even until, for the western counties. So we've got a while of dry weather, but there's still a chance for a thunderstorm even tomorrow, the high about 82 degrees. And as for the river levels, well, let's take a look one more time at what these are looking like for the North Branch between Waverly, Sayre, and Wilkes-Barre. These are the points, not to downplay, out by Bloomsburg, Danville, Sunbury, and the Delaware, but these are the points that we really have to watch most closely.
Next. This can't be it. It's just down the lane. Do you think you can make it from here?
Laughing.
Thank you.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Can a change of address
I'm here.
change your life?
Hi.
Hello. Not normally.
He's obsessed. It's Christmas Eve, and we're going out there. We're going to celebrate being young and being alive.
Good evening, I'm Diane Lee, and here is what is ahead on WYOU News at 6. Will the Susquehanna overflow? We'll have some hopeful news in the Wilkes-Barre area about changes in the projected crest levels. And mass evacuations are making for traffic tie-ups in some areas. We'll have a live report on the roads. And we'll tell you how hospitals in the evacuation zones are preparing for what's to come. WYOU News at 6 starts right now.
This is WYOU News at 6.
Evacuations, road closings, emergency shelters, and, oh yes, flooding. That's been the headliner all today, and we start off with an important number that can answer all of your questions right now, the Rumor Control Hotline. That number, 1-800-821-3716. It's right there on your screen, 1-800-821-3716. If you have any questions about whether you fall in the evacuation zone or when the local rivers are projected to crest, that is your number for answers. And we also hope to answer your questions tonight through our team coverage of the flooding of 2006. And for that, we begin with Eric Dable, who is live along the Susquehanna River in Kingston. Eric?
Diane, there are mandatory evacuation orders up for parts of Luzerne County tonight. Those evacuation orders are for anybody that had flooding during the floods of 1972, right after Hurricane Agnes. Now, right now, we are pretty much at ground zero for any potential problems. We are on the Kingston side of the Susquehanna River. Right now, the river is moving at a steady clip. I'm going to step out of the shot. I want you to take a look at this. This would normally be an underpass underneath the Pierce Street Bridge that right now, as you can see, is underwater. Right now, the river is at 33.9 feet. Now, it is expected to crest around midnight between 35 and 37 feet. Now, that is higher, if it does crest at that point, than what we saw from Hurricane Ivan. Now, if we can take a look at some video that we shot just a while ago, the evacuation orders that I was just mentioning will take effect tonight at 8 p.m. That means that everyone in the affected areas must be out by 8 p.m. There is also a 9 o'clock curfew, which will be strictly enforced in this area. National Guard troops are already here in Luzerne County helping the police to patrol this area and really spot any trouble spots before they come. Now, officials stress these evacuations are precautionary, but they don't want to take any chances. They also want you to check on your family members and neighbors.
If there are any concerns for neighbors who maybe don't have family, please make sure you check on those neighbors, make sure that they have a place to go. And again, contact your fellow neighbors and family members with where you are going to be. Keep those lines of communication open with one another.
Keep those lines of communication open with one another. Now, there are several emergency shelters that have already opened up here in Luzerne County, and I want to take a moment to go over those for you. They are Hanover Area High School, the Dallas Senior High School, the Shikshini Fire Hall, the Wyoming Area High School, the Solomon Plains Junior High School, the Courtdale Borough Building, the State Street Elementary School in Larksville, as well as at College Misericordia at the Anderson Center. Now, there were two other shelters, the GAR High School as well as the West Side Votech in Pringle, but those are already at full capacity, so please do not go there. Now, the Red Cross has set up all of those shelters. They are asking you to bring 2 days worth of clothing as well as medications and anything else that you might need, blankets and pillows. They are also saying to please check on your neighbors. Now, reporting live in Kingston, I'm Eric Dable for WYOU News. Diane, now back to you.
Thank you, Eric. Well, even though evacuations are still in effect, it looks like the river levels will stay within a safe range. WYOU News reporter Lori Monteforti is at the Luzerne County Emergency Management Center in Wilkes-Barre with a county engineer.
And we are here at the Luzerne County EMA Center. It's been buzzing for days, people trying to get things ready for a possible flood. National Guard, police, fire, Red Cross, all organizing things right here at the EM office. I'm here with one of those people, Jim Brazina, head engineer here in Luzerne County. Jim, I understand we have some good news about these water levels.
Yes, the National Weather Service has come out again with a revised projected crest this evening. They've moved it up in time. It's going to be about 8 o'clock this evening, and now they're telling us it's going to be somewhere between 35 and 37 feet, so that is good news for us.
That is good news, but people should continue with the evacuation plans?
Absolutely. You know, that we are still seeing between 35 and 37 feet what's going to end up being the second largest flood of record here in the Wyoming Valley. And the river is going to stay up at that stage or very close to it for several days. That puts some pressure on the levees, and we want to make sure that everybody's safe.
So we're just going to keep people safe. Make sure you're evacuating. Senator Rick Santorum just stopped by a little while ago to praise the levee system. Jim, did you get a chance to talk to him?
Yes, I did. Informed him that the Corps of Engineers is in town providing assistance to us. They're out doing inspections on the levees. We have had very little problems at this point, and we don't expect that to change.
Very good. Thank you very much. There are a few shelter updates to tell you about. GAR, it's getting pretty full, and Westside Votech is full, but don't worry, you still can go to all of the other shelters, and College Misericordia is also taking people who need a place to stay tonight. Remember to bring your pillow and your blanket. Reporting in Luzerne County, Wilkes-Barre, Lori Monteforti, WYOU News.
Thank you, Lori. We're also hearing that you should also bring a gallon of water per person if you do indeed have to go to a shelter tonight. Contingency plans are also underway at local hospitals. Geisinger South Wilkes-Barre began evacuating all patients this afternoon. The Luzerne County EMA issued the order, and that agency decides where the patients will be relocated. 90 patients had to be wheeled out of the hospital and into ambulances for transport.
From there, we will be getting in contact with families about where their loved one will be transferred to. We'll also be working with the physicians so that they know what facility their patients have been taken to.
Hospital staff know how bad flooding can get. They still have a spot marked on the wall from the Agnes flood. Workers spent much of the day packing up medical records and computers and moving them to higher ground. Well, when news of the mandatory evacuation broke, area roads got got jammed as the river continued to rage. WYOU's Dave Kaharchik is live along the Cross Valley Expressway in Luzerne County. Dave, with less than 2 hours left until everyone's supposed to be out in the west side of Wilkes-Barre, how is traffic now?
Well, Diane, apparently things have eased quite a bit here over the past few hours. I'll tell you what, traffic now is just kind of steamrolling along here, Route 309 North at Cross Valley Expressway, heading into the back mountain. You can see traffic the other way coming from the west side over into Plains and Wilkes-Barre moving fine as well. Now, it was a different story just a few hours ago. Take a look at this video. Not only were there cars jammed up here on the Cross Valley and on some of the roads, but the gas stations became jammed as people were trying to fill up and get ready for the move and get ready to be out on the road here. We actually spoke to one gentleman who took the warnings, took the advisories to get out, and we caught up with him at the Turkey Hill in Kingston.
We're going to go up to our cousin's house in Edwardsville. He's up on the hill, and we live down the street here.
We're looking live at the Susquehanna River with the banks there towards Plains, and you can see some people down by the river. And of course, officials ask that you stay away from the river as there are only a couple of hours of evacuation time left. Again, traffic is flowing smoothly. Now, the Cross Valley Expressway, one of only 2 ways to get across the valley right now. Your other option is the Pierce Street Bridge that is still open. I still see traffic flowing across that between Kingston and Wilkes-Barre. Of course, there are some roads closed like US Route 11 in West Nanticoke and River Road in Plains. There are many other roads that are closed, and we'll have the latest information on the bottom of your screen. Reporting live along the Cross Valley Expressway, I'm Dave Kaharchik for WYOU News.
Thank you, Dave. Cleanup underway in one part of our area. Coming up next on WYOU News at 6, we'll take a look as crews and residents try and clean up in one of the hardest hit areas. That and more after Scott's forecast.
How great is this? United Check Cashing will cash your check immediately. No credit checks, no long lines. Stop paying bank fees for everything under the sun. Waiting sometimes up to a week to get your money. Need your tax refund check cashed? We do that. Cash your paycheck. Do money orders. Send Western Union. United Check Cashing does it all. No hidden fees. Quick, low-cost check cashing. Scranton and Wilkes-Barre. United Check Cashing. Service worth checking out.
1-866-99-4-CREDIT declares Credit Freedom Week. Call 1-866-99-4-CREDIT and get approved for the right car, the right financing right now. What happened in the past with your credit stays in the past. Call 1-866-99-4-CREDIT. Get the car or truck you deserve. At 1-866-99-4-CREDIT, we finance your future, not your past. Call 1-866-99-4-CREDIT for guaranteed credit approval. Get approved for the right car, the right financing right now. Call 1-866-99-4-CREDIT now.
You're watching WYOU News, a member of the Northeast Pennsylvania News Alliance.
Oreo, O-R-E-O.
Hey, come on, guys. I'm just the host of the Oreo and Milk Jingle Contest.
You get to choose the winner, so grab a pack and head to Oreo.com. For Randy's sake.
Early warning and accuracy are key to keeping neighborhoods safe during severe weather. This is the technology behind WYOU's Storm Center forecast. These are the eyes and ears.
The Skywarn Storm Spotters.
More than 150 of your friends and neighbors trained by WYOU and the National Weather Service to spot severe weather. Their commitment helps the WYOU meteorologists deliver the most accurate and reliable weather forecast available. WYOU's Storm Center and the Skywarn Storm Spotters. Early warning to keep you ahead of the storm. Here's tonight's Wyoming Valley Motors WYOU Viewers Club card number. If this is your membership number, call 961-2222 tomorrow between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. and win $222. From WYOU News, here's AMS and NWA certified chief meteorologist Scott Stuccio with your Storm Center forecast.
All right, well, we begin, of course, with some almost phrases that go without saying here. When you're under a flood warning, The EMA has been advising everybody to stay away from that river. It is rising very rapidly, and even when it's down, you know, in the 5 to 10 foot stage, rushing water can pick you up in no time. And when we're talking about 30 to 35 feet of water rushing down through the city, it's a life-threatening situation to be near it. So make sure you stay away from that. Certainly don't try to drive over areas where the roads might be closed. Don't go around barricades, because they're there for a reason, folks. The water can definitely pick up your vehicles. If you happen to get caught, which again, if you're going through torrential downpours and you happen to get caught in the water, you're supposed to try to abandon that car. Don't stay with it, and don't go near power lines either. We have some very soft ground out there now, and any thunderstorm that happens to form between today and tomorrow could have some gusty wind associated with it. Now, as far as the official river forecast, it's going to end up somewhere in between the September 75 crest of 35.1 feet and the flood of Agnes from 72 of 40.9. So we're going to be not reaching that level, but certainly a historic flood coming through again. And, you know, we talk about these once-in-a-lifetime floods. This is the third one in the last 11 years where it's been pretty disastrous for most of the communities around Wilkes-Barre. Now, since our level has gone above 32 feet, here are the areas that are affected by that water. Route 11 through Susquehanna, Canal Street, River Road and Plains, Port Blanchard, West Pittston, Hollenbach, Brookside. That includes the golf course over there by Wilkes-Barre, the flats of Plymouth, Route 11, West Nanticoke, and the Pittston Lowlands, where a lot of the farmland is. If we happen to get up to 38 feet, some between 34 and 38 feet, a lot of these routes right on here are possibly flooded and closed. And here are a couple of more: Mackinac, Nescopec, Dundee area of Hanover Township, Route 11 in Edwardsville, the west side, and that is, of course, why we have the mandatory evacuations up. Here are the forecasts for the points along the North Branch from Sayre to Wilkes-Barre. All three of these from Sayre to Meshopin are forecast crest by tomorrow morning. The Wilkes-Barre crest forecast is for late tonight, and the current level now up to 34 feet, even rising, but rising more slowly than it has been in the past couple of hours. For the rest of the main stem, Bloomsburg, Danville, Sunbury, well above flood stages. Forecast crests there are overnight and tomorrow morning. And on the Delaware, some record flooding going on between Callicoon and Barryville, Port Jervis and Montague, also at least 5 to 8 feet above the flood stages, and forecast to not crest until tomorrow morning. Now, as far as this additional rain, nothing much has been happening, but we have some isolated showers popping up in between Wyoming, Lackawanna, and Wayne counties. There's a downpour north of Route 6 in Wayne County. It's going to be pretty quiet overall until later tonight when these showers and thunderstorms start to enter the western part of the area. But there is the tropical connection that has been causing our flooding. These thunderstorms are daytime heat driven, so a lot of them are going to go away. We have one more day with some showers and thunderstorms in here tomorrow, and then this gets swept out of here. So Friday, Saturday are going to be pretty dry days as we see it right now. We certainly can use them to get those water levels to recede as quickly as possible. So river flood warnings are going to be in effect through tomorrow for all points along the Susquehanna, except for the West Branch. It has been doing pretty well out there between Williamsport, Muncie, Montgomery area, Milton. Out on the Delaware, the warnings are going to stay up as well. We have some showers and thunderstorms possible tonight and tomorrow. Low temperatures tonight in the 60s. Tomorrow's high around 82. For Friday and Saturday, partly to mostly sunny. We can also see a little bit of a breeze on those 2 days, which help evaporate water pretty well too. Certainly good signs. Highs in the 80s both days. Next chance for thunderstorms on Sunday with a high of 84. And the rest of the holiday weekend, Monday into the holiday itself. Monday, the dry day, the holiday may see a couple of more thunderstorms in the afternoon.
You know, Scott was just interviewed by the Weather Channel, and certainly I've been watching the television all day, and the networks and the national cable stations really are putting Wilkes-Barre on the spot in our area.
When you talk about a historic flood, you know, closing in on the levee height, you know, when the original forecast came out, it's big news. It's all over the country, but you know, we don't want to panic people. You know, just heed the warnings, take your time, just be patient, and things will be back to normal as soon as we can get them. Maybe by the weekend we'll see that river come back down quick.
Thank you, Scott. Right. Well, some people have already started cleaning up flood damage, and WYOU News reporter Lori Monteforti has the story of some teenagers who gave up a summer day to help with flood recovery.
This is what the Carbondale Street Bridge in Waymart looked like Tuesday. By Wednesday morning, the borough streets were mostly dry, and people began their cleanup. Counselors from the Salvation Army's Camp Lador came out to help.
We knew yesterday driving down through that Waymart got hit pretty bad. So we thought, just as a gesture of goodwill, we thought, hey, we've got labor. They need the labor.
Tuesday's major floods forced the camp to close for a few days. That left counselors with little to do.
We serve kids all the time, but it's rare that we get to do something directly for the community like this. So we just thought it'd be a great opportunity.
About 25 counselors cleaned up the streets. They scraped up mud, threw away garbage, and even cleaned up the borough park.
So we're trying to get it so it doesn't look like there was a flood here. Make it look like it did 2 days ago.
After all of their cleanup outside, the volunteers moved inside of buildings in Waymart.
It's a daycare center, and all the kids' stuff is in here, and the rugs are underwater. You're slopping in water.
Clyde Bunting is a trustee for the Waymart Presbyterian Church and Daycare Center. Water prevented him from getting to the church Tuesday, so when he finally got there Wednesday morning, he found a soggy mess and prayed for help.
This is a blessing, I'll tell you. I don't know how I do it otherwise.
That's what we're all about. That's what Salvation Army is about. It's just helping, being part of the community.
And the community here was thankful for the help. In Waymart, Lori Monteforti, WYOU News.
Some great folks. And while Lador's boys counselors cleaned up downtown Waymart, the girls counselors cleaned up the Lador campsite. Summer travelers from other parts of the Commonwealth got an unwelcome surprise after coming into central Pennsylvania for fun. Knoebels Grove in Elysburg flooded when 2 creeks spilled over their banks. Now, the Crystal Pool looks more like chocolate milk, and water flows through the covered bridge rather than under.
Put those boards off the side of the covered bridge to allow the water to pass through. We started raising merchandise to higher elevations and computers.
The owner of the park, Dick Knoebel, says he isn't sure how much damage there is, and they'll have to dig out from under the muck before they can get an estimate. Meanwhile, the park is closed, but Knoebel says he is hoping to reopen by this weekend. Dozens of families in Monroe County also had to leave their homes because of flooding. Residents at Glenbrook Apartments on Main Street in Stroudsburg were evacuated today.
My neighbor, he saw the water coming up and he knocked on my door, and they called 911, and then the fire department came out and started banging on everybody's door.
Dozens of cars were also submerged under several feet of water. Many displaced families hope to return to their homes soon, but they're concerned about what they might find when they get back. Meanwhile, officials kept a close eye on Pocono Creek, but they say today's sunny weather helped to reduce its levels. And I know at least a couple of us here on the WYOU team have to evacuate as well.
Well, let's try to do a little bit of a change of pace and take people's minds off the flooding for a few moments anyway, as we head to Baltimore, where the Phillies are playing after a rain out yesterday. They've got a day-night doubleheader. We'll tell you how they did against the Birds when we come back.
You're guaranteed to save a bundle during the Independence Sale at Nathan's Furniture and Mattress Superstores. It's Nathan's biggest holiday sale ever, with savings of 30, 40, 50, even 60% store-wide. Plus, through Monday, everything is payment and interest-free till 2008. That's no down payment, no monthly payments, and no interest till 2008. On top of those huge savings, up to 60%. Don't miss the legendary Independence Sale at Nathan's Furniture and Mattress Superstores.
Oreo, O-R-E-O.
Hey, come on, guys. I'm just the host of the Oreo and Milk Jingle Contest.
You get to choose the winner, so grab a pack and head to Oreo.com. For Randy's sake.
Here's what's coming up tonight on WYOU.
There is a face to what we're talking about, and the face is that of a child, and the children need your help.
Any kid could be saved with the dollars that you're donating right now.
That's the way to do it. Making miracles happen every day.
Thank you so very much for doing your part here today.
And our new total is $2,420,240.
The most successful money-raising celebration for a good cause in northeastern Pennsylvania. You have made the difference.
WYOU Siding is a division of Prudential Realty. We install beautiful solid core insulated vinyl siding. With 100% bank rate financing and zero money down, we'll pay off credit cards and personal debts, lowering your monthly payments. Solid core is better, smarter, and more attractive than regular siding and has a lifetime warranty including labor and materials. Solid core insulated vinyl siding will increase the value of your home and save money on heating and cooling. Qualified homeowners get a free quote. Call 1-800-852-1834 today.
It's some of the worst flooding we've seen in years. Hi, I'm Mark Hiller. The summer flood of '06, the dramatic video, and the latest river levels tomorrow on Pennsylvania Morning.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Advanced Chiropractic and Rehabilitation. From WYOU News, here's Sid Michaels with all your sports scores and highlights.
Hi, everybody. Two Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons will start for the International League in the All-Star Game in Toledo on July 12th. Second baseman Joe Thurston and catcher Carlos Ruiz were named as AAA starters today. And Thurston celebrating that announcement with an RBI triple in the first. Barons leading Durham in the first of two, 2-0 after two rainouts. These two will play a doubleheader tonight and a doubleheader tomorrow. Day-night doubleheader for the Phillies in Baltimore today after last night's rainouts. Cole Hamels goes 5 innings, gives up 7 runs on 9 hits. Ramon Hernandez, 2-run home run. Pat Burrell and Shane Victorino also with 2-run homers for the Phils as they try to come back, but Hamels falls to 1-4 with a 5.50 earned run average. Phillies have lost 6 straight, 14 of 17. They'll play game 2 tonight at Camden Yard. The Braves broke a 2-all tie with a run in the 12th against the Yankees today, but in the bottom of the inning, Alex Rodriguez breaks a 2-for-20 slump with a 2-run home run off Jorge Sosa, his 16th of the year. The Yankees with the come-from-behind win. They take the Braves 4-3. Atlanta, how about this? 5-21 in the month of June. And Scranton's Jerry McNamara will hope his name will be one of those called tonight as the NBA draft is held in New York City. A lot of speculation as to where the Bishop Hannon product will end up. I talked with his agent, Bill Neff, this afternoon. He's confident Jerry will end up somewhere, whether he's selected in one of the 2 rounds of the draft or he signs as a free agent. Both McNamara and Neff say he will play on the NBA courts come fall. We'll keep you posted on the draft tonight at 11 and more tomorrow here on WYOU Sports.
We hope for the best for him. Thank you, Sid. We'll be right back.
Come out to the stadium and enjoy action-packed baseball as the Barons take on the Bulls. There's always a great reason to come to a Barons game with giveaways, great promotions, and great deals. So don't miss a minute of the action. Enjoy the game.
Oreo, O-R-E-O.
Hey, come on, guys. I'm just the host of the Oreo and Milk Jingle contest.
You get to choose the winner, so grab a pack and head to Oreo.com. For Randy's sake.
You're watching WYOU News at 6.
WYOU Metal Roofs is a division of Prudential Realty. We have heavy-duty metal roofs, not tin, and apples for apples, we are never knowingly undersold. WYOU Metal Roofs offers 100% bank financing and a down payment is never required. We also pay off high-interest credit cards and other personal debt with substantially lower monthly payments. A metal roof is better, smarter, and more attractive than a shingle roof, and comes with a full 35-year non-prorated warranty. And don't forget, a metal roof will increase the value of your home and increase curb appeal. WYOU Metal Roofs also offers free quotes, so don't hesitate and call today.
This summer, you'll not only have a reason to watch TV, but to be part of the search for the next great rock star. To sing. To rock. To live. To love. To cry. To win. To watch. All new Rockstar Supernova premieres CBS Wednesday, July 5th.
Closed captioning of the news is brought to you by your local Ford dealers.
WYOU usually open up the WYOU mailbag about this time, but as we continue with our flood coverage, we thought we would ask our legal analyst, attorney Matt Cartwright, for some advice when it comes to people who have flood insurance. What can you tell us, Matt?
Well, sure, Diane. If you're smart enough or lucky enough to have had the foresight to buy flood insurance, the chances are that was covered by the National Flood Insurance Program, the NFIP. And there are some things you probably want to know about that. Number one, you don't have to worry about the insurance company that wrote that insurance going belly up, because that is backed by the federal government, just like your savings account deposit. By the same token, if you get flooded out, the NFIP insurance, you can get an immediate check right after the flood, so you don't have to put your life on hold waiting for settlement later on. Now, the other thing about NFIP is you don't have to have the president declare a national emergency. You get that like regular insurance coverage, and it doesn't depend on what the government does. Diane?
Matt, it's interesting. We've heard of several people who've tried to apply for flood insurance just today. Unfortunately, it takes about 30 days for that to kick in. But whether or not you have flood insurance, what can you tell people who right now have about an hour and a half left to evacuate about what they should think about bringing with them and leaving behind?
Right. Well, it's definitely too late to be applying for flood insurance right now. But, right, people are thinking, well, you have an hour and a half to get out. What are you going to take with you? From an insurance perspective, or even if you don't have insurance, remember, think about the things that can't easily be replaced by money. If you have a choice between taking a TV set or a box full of important papers and photographs, it's a no-brainer. Take the box, because there's no way to put a dollar amount on those things, whereas something like a TV set or other electronics can easily be replaced and valued by money. Diane?
Thank you, Matt, for your legal expertise. And we will be right back with a final check of the forecast, so stay tuned.
Do Nikon people take better vacations? Or does the Nikon D50 just make it look that way? The digital SLR the world's been waiting for is here. The affordable new Nikon D50 makes taking incredible digital pictures so incredibly easy, just about anyone can do it.
See it at Stroudsburg Photo, Main Street, Stroudsburg. You're guaranteed to save a bundle during the Independence Sale at Nathan's Furniture and Mattress Superstores. It's Nathan's biggest holiday sale ever, with savings of 30, 40, 50, even 60% store-wide. Plus, through Monday, everything is payment and interest-free till 2008. That's no down payment, no monthly payments, and no interest till 2008. On top of those huge savings, up to 60%. Don't miss the legendary Independence Sale at Nathan's Furniture and Mattress Superstores.
You're watching WYOU News, a member of the Northeast Pennsylvania News Alliance.
I'm a bug. Not just any bug. I'm Coupon Bug. I'm new, and I'm going to save you money every day. Honest. Just log on to couponbug.com. couponbug.com. Print out your own coupons and save. It's that easy.
Look for America's best brands at couponbug.com.
Come on, embrace your inner bug. Log on, print your own coupons, and save. Coupon Bug. I am so easy.
Vendors, reserve your booth now for the second annual Home for the Holiday Showcase coming this November to the Icebox in Scranton. Call Amanda to reserve your booth today.
All right, the very latest forecasts, current river levels, and flood stages are there for you on the north branch of the Susquehanna. Downtown Wilkes-Barre, 34-foot current level. The crest is forecast to be somewhere between 35 to 37 feet late tonight. The rest of those forecast crest levels are going to be sometime overnight tomorrow morning. And also out on the main stem down to Bloomsburg, Danville, Sunbury, the Delaware River, all the points there not forecast to reach their maximum height until the early morning. So that's it. We're going to have a lot more, obviously, through the evening on this.
We sure will. In fact, we will have continuing coverage of those river levels throughout the evening, as Scott mentioned, so keep it tuned right here to WYOU.
I'm Bob Schieffer. Hundreds of thousands in the Northeast are evacuating their homes tonight because of flooding, and the rivers are still rising. That's where we'll start tonight, and we'll have these stories.
I'm Sheila McVicker in Gaza, where Israeli forces are warning Palestinians, give back our captured soldier or else.
A tiny car just over 8 feet long that gets big gas mileage. I'm John Blackstone with a report on the smart car coming your way.
And I'm Richard Schlesinger. 60 years of highlights, the magazine. Remember reading it in the doctor's waiting room? Tonight, a checkup on Goofus and Gallant.
This is the CBS Evening News with Bob Schieffer.
Good evening. The record rains that swept across the East Coast slacked off today, but now residents are dealing with the floods that came behind them, and the rivers are still rising. So far, 12 people are known to have died in the storm. 7 have been rescued by helicopter, and tonight thousands of people have been ordered to evacuate their homes in New Jersey, New York, Maryland, and Pennsylvania alone. Up to 200,000 in the northeastern part of the